liberal arts just in the nation. It's, I believe, more important now than ever. We need people who know how to think. On stage, a story is a story. We think at Bethany Lutheran College, within the theater department, we're doing this for something higher than just us.
Okay, but you'll be in this too. But we'll work more through that. Okay, so for right now, you can keep on hokey pokey. We don't know exactly what to do. Primate. But just start gathering the girls. Okay, so by the way, to help the audience, let's sort of and then while that's going on, Bingley very prominently leads Jane down these steps through the dance.
I remember reading Pride and Prejudice as a freshman at Bethany, and I just loved it.
7, we're in the village, Meryton Village. So we quick get all that furniture out of there. Now we're outside in the town, a picturesque village square. Kitty appears in an absurd, fashionable hat.
It's all the performances for me. And I just have fallen in love with those characters so much. So I guess I've wanted to do this show for about 25 years or over, since the 90s.
So page 77.
This was an adaptation that we can make this perfect.
Yeah, like shocking, you know, and then you guys start talking about. Well, yeah, well, let's try from your line. Maybe that's good. Yeah, but there, a friend of Mr. Bingley's. He danced the first with Mr. Bingley's sister.
I am lucky because I work with just some of the best craftspeople and creative minds. And so you got a great cast, you got fantastic costumes. The production value is really, really high. We're just in good hands as far as production goes. And it's just been a dream to be able to pull out all the stops, you know, just to make our dream Pride and Prejudice happen on stage. And everybody delivered. I couldn't have been happier. My students are not unaware that I think the world of them. I feel like I get to work with just some of the best students in the world.
Okay, good. Why don't Lydia?
The top students that Bethany has to offer, I have to believe I get to work with these. I am just so in awe of the leadership qualities and the positive attitudes. They bring it. I think every good teacher learns from their students too. After doing any show, I feel reward if we've done stuff that I've never done before. This is what we love to do here, and we love students to be able to witness that stuff because it challenges us and they can see us challenged. It was a very daunting task when I first came here. After a while, what I think helped me is if you can be humble about it. I have my skill set, but there are going to be people who are better at things than I am. I teach students acting, many of whom I know are better actors than I am. And so I just have to walk humbly because there's going to be students who are smarter than me. I have to treat them well, and what can I learn from them? Yeah, and the board there too. We're going to use it. I really, really enjoy and love teaching students who are here for thought. What I've always appreciated about Bethany is that the liberal arts are strong. I believe that one of the big things I teach is how to think. The whole purpose of the liberal arts is liberty. When you are able to think real thoughts and problem solve your way through life and then become somebody who is a consumer of thought, of education, and somebody who can discern and can know right and wrong, now you're a free person. Now you're free to go out and you can apply that knowledge into any walk of life that you want. Now you have all of these things that you've collected, that you've put into your thought box. Now, how do you use that stuff to create your own thoughts, to think, to discern, and to create? What are you going to make now? Because now you know how to make things. That's the importance of a liberal education.
Weather makes me nervous. My ideal has always been to love someone of the name of Ernest.
Wait, who wrote that?
Marin.
Oh,
These are all hers.
Okay. Both readings?
Both readings.
Which one do you want to start with?
I was thinking start with Lizzie and then move on to Spencer.
Let's do that. Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you guys.
I want people, when they come to a show at Bethany, even on some small level, they're able to see high art.
Set you up as a clergyman on her plot of land. And so
By your own design, I find have ruined the forever happiness of my most
If you make for yourself confines, the truly creative person is somebody who now has more confines than others, and yet they are able to work their way out of that box in such a way that is a surprising, magical moment.
you know, and then start a line after just sort of a big
Constraints don't hinder the creative person. Constraints make the creative person.
Hey, since you did that, can I just have you do something again? And we seem to have time. Can you read that last line and then maybe rush it?
And so I want Bethany audiences to kind of just sort of go, oh, wow, they pulled something off, but I can tell that they had constraints to do that. We have gotten comment after comment about how there is a community here that is really something special. They are blown away by what's happening just in our lobby, when they sit down, the hospitality they get when they come into the theater, and then the level of performance. They just feel like there's something special happening at Bethany. Something else is at work. It's not lost on me that theater at Bethany is unlike theater elsewhere. Bethany's motto is the one thing needful, and what that is, it's a story from the Bible, the Mary Martha story, and the idea is that the one thing needful is the saving gospel message of Jesus Christ, and that He is our everything and He is our Savior. This is pervasive. In the Fine Arts Center here, these students tend to live by this. They do this theater not for their own glory, but for the glory of God. If you're doing something for a purpose that is bigger than yourself, you bring a different part of yourself to it, and it usually seems much more selfless. Theater, just in general, and everywhere I've been, is very much about the promotion of the self, and here it's much more about the promotion of the product, and that the glory goes to God, because all our gifts come from Him. Art is a gift from God. We are going to be making art because it's kind of part of the Great Commission. If we're to go out and preach and teach to all nations. This is our contribution. Storytelling is a very powerful means of transmitting ideas and even worldviews. This is why Jesus told stories. Stories we are created to listen to. We're created by a creator to listen to stories. Jesus preached in stories because they're impossible not to pay attention to. And this is how you teach. I'm very privileged and blessed to work in a place where that's the thrust. I pray for Bethany all the time. I feel like Bethany has a lot of things stacked against it. And so I pray that God just watches over places like Bethany, that we can teach what we need to teach. The most important thing, again, the reason I'm here is the Jesus piece. The second reason I'm here is the theater piece. I feel like the liberal arts needs to be maintained at a place like this, but even greater than that, what we teach students about Jesus needs to be maintained. This is why I wanted this job. It was the Jesus piece. If that and the liberal arts both float away, I don't know that there's a big reason for me to be here. And so I'm praying for this school all the time. And I have just a ton of really smart people working together. We're all liberal artists and we're all smart. We all know that we can create something that is going to be great for our students. We can solve those problems. And so we're gonna. If I've built a lot in the Bethany Theater program, my hope is that it's so that people can learn to build and make and create and start their own things, for people to be able to think outside of the box, but not only that, to assemble their opinions and to be able to communicate those things effectively. It's hard for me to know what I've built here, but I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, there's nothing that I made that I didn't have a ton of help doing. I would never work at any other institution as hard as I work at Bethany. Obviously, there's a passion here. There's a love here. The main reason I feel like I'm here is Jesus first and my art second. Before the show, there's somebody who said a prayer. I will never forget it. And it was, "Dear Lord, please help us be as close after this show as we are now." What a great prayer that is. That's why I love this place, really. We call it the one thing needful. And it's sort of magical in and of itself. God's watching over this place, and we're doing something for a higher purpose.
And the power